I know I'm gonna get it wrong. Kershaw Chiro? Ooh. Welcome to Survival Crash Course. This is Omega Agent 661, and today we're reviewing the Kershaw Cryo. Stay tuned. The Kershaw Cryo is a tactical slash EDC spring assisted flipper folding knife that is made in China. I know, boo, China, whatever. Anyway, its overall open length is 6.5 inches, with the drop point blade measuring around 2.75 inches long. The blade is coated with the gray titanium carbonitrate and is made from ACR13 MOV steel. I know, Twinkie steel alert. I know it's Twinkie steel, but bear with me. The handle material is stainless steel, but it also has the titanium carbide coating, which I gotta admit, I really like. Overall, this knife weighs about 4 ounces, which is great for tactical or everyday carry. This Kershaw Cryo is a Rick Hinderer design and has some really cool design features. I mean, you don't win the Blade Show Best Buy of the Year without a great design. Granted, that was in 2012, but in my opinion, it holds up great. I have to give a shout out for the attention to detail in this design. The pocket clip and locking portion of the frame have smooth, curved scoops that are perfect for placing your fingertips on when opening the knife. Very nice. The drop point blade starts with a short uphill ramp before taking a dramatic swooping drop to the tip of the knife. It's a nice touch on a blade shape that can be a little bit boring sometimes. The knife's wedge looks good, maybe a little too subtle, but the gray coating is really cool. That gray titanium nitride coating continues onto the steel handles and is contrasted with black hardware, black barrel spacers, and a black mini deep pocket clip. The ambidextrous thumb stud is also black and has a nice little machine pattern. For added grip, a portion of the spine has wide blocky jimping and the scales have matching jimping on the top and bottom of the handles. The jimping felt okay, not the best, but it did seem to improve my grip on this smaller size knife. I mean, a little jimping doesn't hurt. Either way, the knife flipper is sized well, doesn't protrude too much, and forms a good stop for my finger when the knife is open. To finish off the design features, a small lanyard hole is included. The Kershaw Cryo utilizes a frame lock design and it works well. It feels strong and engages with a nice click. The frame didn't ever feel wobbly or weak, and I had full confidence in any task that I put this knife to. Only downside is when you close it, you got to put your fingers in the path of the blade. But overall, it works well. I like it. I am very impressed by this knife's performance. This knife has performed great, easily accomplishing all the cutting and slicing tasks that are thrown at it, despite the Twinkie steel blade. It even cut the dreaded pink paracord as good or maybe even slightly better than my Spyderco M4 Shaman. How's that for Twinkie steel? The drop point blade is great for many everyday carry tasks and came hair shaving sharp right out the box from the factory. The blade edge has held up surprisingly well and has only required minimal knife edge maintenance to maintain. I was worried about the grip on this knife as the scales are basically smooth, but the titanium nitride coating really gave this knife a good, almost rubbery grip. I want to say it's a tacky grip. It's really hard to describe, but it definitely doesn't feel slick despite its appearance. It's just hard to describe. But when I carry this knife, I constantly find myself running my fingers over the scales of this knife. If my wife saw how much I caress this knife, she would probably try to file for divorce. Anyway, I never worried about this knife slipping out of my hands, but I probably would not use it to gut a trout, but I still like it. Move on to the build quality of the Kershaw Cryo. Overall, I don't have many issues with the build quality of the knife. Sure, it's made in China, the centering is a little bit off, and the grinds are a little bit sloppy, but the screws never loosened on me. It hasn't corroded at all despite cutting lots of lemons and limes with it. All the screws have stayed nice and tight. The pocket clip is nice and tight. And the knife blade just snaps open with satisfying speed. I mean, it got really good retention and a detent. So I'm impressed. I've had no issues with it at all. Which brings us to value. I bought this knife at my favorite sporting goods store, Big Five, for around 20 bucks. 20 bucks. Sure, it was a one-day special, but still, I mean, its performance had thoroughly exceeded its price. No wonder it won Best Buy at the Blade Show. Right now, they are selling on Blade HQ for around $34, and I gotta admit, I think it's a steal at that price too. You get a Hinderer design knife with cool features, great performance, and a lifetime warranty. If anything, this knife makes me want to buy a high-end Hinderer. Is it time for another layaway? My wife doesn't have to know. Anyway, if you're in the market for a smaller size, affordable everyday carry knife, I would absolutely recommend this knife. You can order it right now for around 34 bucks at Blade HQ, and the link should be listed below. So, now it's time to get into the knife review score of the Kershaw Cryo. The Kershaw Cryo is a drop point folding knife with an assisted opening flipper style mechanism that makes it quick and easy to deploy. Its suggested use is for tactical or EDC applications. The first category is steel, and due to the 8 CR13 MOV steel, it didn't score very high. It is a Twinkie steel no matter how good it performed, and then it is what it is, and they only got a 2 out of the 10. Moving on to the handle/scales, they're plain stainless steel handles, but then they went above and beyond by adding that coating and then adding extra jimping. So I ended up really enjoying the handles. They felt really good. So I gave it a 6 out of the 10. Value, that's the kicker. This thing is great for its price. Like I said, I paid around 20 bucks for it. You could probably pick one up at Big Five for similar prices, or you can order it online at Blade HQ for $34.99, and I think it's a great value. So I gave it a 7 out of 10. The next category is centering/build quality. Build quality wasn't bad. It wasn't anything stupendous. The grinds were a little bit off. The centering was a little bit off, but I mean, it's held up really well together, and I've used it a lot. So I gave it a 2 in that category. I also gave it an extra point for the special nitro carbide coating that it has. I really do enjoy that. It works really well. It hasn't even like worn off. It's doing better than my Cerakotes that I really love. If you guys know my channels, you know I love that sexy tactical Cerakote. And this stuff is more durable, it seems like. Anyways, moving on to the hardware. No extra points for hardware. It was all painted black, but it was nothing special. Performance. It performed really well. Did everything I wanted. In some cases, cut things a lot better than other knives, which I'm surprised to say. So I gave it a 7. I'm not going to go into the slicing, chopping, piercing, slashing scores. Moving right out to pocket presence. I think this knife has a really good pocket presence. It's on the smaller side, and it's smooth, and even though it got that coating, the coating doesn't stick to your clothes, and it doesn't chew up your pockets, so it feels good. My only issue is, for being small, it might be a little bit on the heavy side for some people. I know some people want ultra light for their EDC. This one, it feels good in the hand. I feel like it has good weight to it, makes it feel robust, but some people might not like that. So I gave it the full 5 points for pocket presence. And last but not least are the extra points. I could award it up to 5 points based on subjective style, design, extra features. And you know what? I really like it. It's a Hinderer design. I like the coating. I think it's nice. It's a little bit on the small side, and it's a little bit heavy for its size. And it's made in China. But I do really enjoy this knife. So I gave it 3 extra points, which brings it up to a total of 44 out of 75. Wow. So, to sum things up, I think Kershaw has done a really nice job on this knife. In my opinion, the design is great. I am definitely wanting to expand my Hinderer collection after using this knife. The overall build quality is solid, and I feel that it's a great value buy. If you're a collector on a budget like myself, looking to add an affordable Hinderer knife to your collection, I would jump at this knife. If you're not a collector, but have 40 bucks to burn on a knife, you could do a lot worse than this knife. Well, that's it for this week's episode of Survival Crash Course. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. And until next time, This is Omega Agent 661 signing out.